Clipped is a good business. It's a good, profitable business, but we lose so much money every single month on all of our content. It's like 50 grand a month.
Dude, that's stupid money. Whoa.
Do you get scared at the dentist?
Dude, that was triggering for me.
You don't like the dentist? It's so relaxing.
So I'm going to get my skate sharpened. There's like two people in line ahead of me. One I see is like my buddy from the team. So I go, I'm like, yo, dude, getting your skate sharpened? As I'm doing it, the guy that's like right next to him kind of like goes like, he's going to like dap me up or something.
When we come back, we'll be kicking off the next game.
Hey.
Don't go anywhere.
I turn and look. That was him, dude. Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smart nonsense. We're back at it again. That's the
Pop.
Yeah.
I know you asked me how you're sounding, and
I'm
I
hot.
didn't think too much. You're coming in hot, Pop. You're coming in hot.
Dude,
But
that's
that's
the second
hey,
intro where I peaked.
it's because you love being here. That's like yesterday. We'll get into it, but yesterday I was formatting a tweet to go out about. We're just kind of like tweeting our principles before we make kind of like a video catalog of like how to work with creatives at Clipped. But I asked you like 10 times, Pop, I don't know how to format this thing. Please, for the love of God, help me format this thing. You're like, yeah. Looks good. Yeah, just ship it. What's the worst that can happen? Just ship it. I ship it. You're like, that's the worst formatting I've ever seen in my life. Delete it immediately. So I deleted it. Then you formatted it. And to your credit, your formatting was a lot better. So,
Did it
so
help?
thanks for that. No, dude.
Dude,
No, that's
I think
a
you got
separate
the worst
thread.
Twitter audience. We haven't talked about that elephant in the room, but God
Let's
damn,
talk
that's
about
the
it, Pop.
audience.
So here's the thing about audiences. I've seen this play out before. Okay, one, you and I are trying to get a lot more into leveraging our Twitter audience because that's just another valuable audience to have. Nice demographic audience as well. I've seen this play out before. I've told you this. There's this guy, this YouTuber, Dan Mace. He was working with Casey Neistat on Casey Neistat's daily vlog for a while. Right there. You worked there.
I saw him here. I pretended I didn't know him too.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, oh, you're Dan. Fucking all right.
So I'll call this the we need like a good title for this principle, but basically what happened is Casey, through working with Dan on his vlog, shouted Dan out all the time, and Dan went from like 150, 200, maybe 300,000 subscribers to like 800,000. Then Dan May stops working with Casey Neistat, and nobody wants to watch his videos. Nobody, because like Casey was a piece of like the Dan Mace channel. Same thing, by the way, happens on Casey's channel when he doesn't put Candace in the vlog. So to make a long story short, in my case, I built my entire 7,000 follower Twitter audience off of the All In podcast. They're there for the Henry All In dynamic. They're not there for my content, for Clipped, for this stuff, for Smart Nonsense. I have a true audience of probably like 500.
Someone was saying something similar, this YouTube friend of ours, and he was like, dude, I looked at your Instagram. It's cheeks, dude. You get like 4,000 views if you're lucky on a video versus like 4 million on a YouTube video. And it's just like such a crazy disparity. But part of it, at least we were guessing, was because I repurposed our Naval Smart Nonsense channel where we just did like basically we just took this like 25,000 whatever audience that came for like black and white animations about cool concepts and just fucking threw my face on there with a bunch of animations. So it probably like bombed. It'll like consistently bomb the early tests with my audience. It's like, yo, if they don't, that's his audience and they don't like it, like fucking why is the rest of the world gonna like it? Just a hypothesis. Maybe I'm not posting. That could be part of it. But when I was
my Instagram took off. What I found is if you can get a clip to hit 1 million in M on Instagram, it pulls everything up and the channel grows like crazy. You've got some buddies that do it. But yeah, hey, I guess the moral of the lesson here, the moral of the story is if you build an audience doing one thing and you pivot to something else, you should not assume that audience is going to
Right.
stick around.
Yeah.
So
Well, it also got me thinking about like right now we're basically trying to use our YouTube audience and our email audience to sell Clipped. One update, quick update for Clipped. I also want to talk about something like more fun, separate from business, but
yeah. Stick around for a thread or two. Stick around for a thread or
just for
two.
context, it's March 19th, 2024, and a month ago, we were like jazzed. Basically, Jack, Henry's brother, came in. He's going to take over the business. We're going to start working on it versus in it, stay above the clouds, sort of thing. Realized pretty quickly we can't. We're going to leave at 0.9. We got to wait till 1. Like we were going to leave too early. We got to really build this thing robust, meaning like 200,000 a month in revenue to really feel comfortable paying him plus pulling ourselves out.
There
We're
just
not there.
doesn't exist. Like we realized we had a great February because we were hustling. If we aren't hustling, like there doesn't exist lead generation for the business. The business does not just like grow and prosper on its own as it stands.
And that's not something that like Jack necessarily has ever done, like create demand from nothing. I actually like joked about this. It's like we pretty much got to prove to Jack like we can invent demand because like to most normal people, especially like normal employees, they've never had to do this. So like it's fucking like where do you find people? Whereas us, we've kind of always like scrapped, so we know it's possible, but most people just don't. Um, so we're kind of in the scrapping stage, especially when we realized like, hey, when when you take on money, you got to repay it, and we're like, oh fuck, we're pretty close to that repayment time, meaning like we have like a month and a half of runway max before shit hits the fan again.
This, especially because like Clipped is a good business. It's a good profitable business. But we lose so much money every single month on all of our content. It's like 50 grand a month flush down the toilet. We're
Including our own salaries, but yeah.
including ourselves. So I guess 30 grand or so without us. It's probably more now because now we've got a writer. It's a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot,
Dude,
and
that's
it's not
stupid
revenue
money.
generating.
Whoa.
Like that's the crazy thing. Like we took the Mr. Beast, like we're just gonna put everything back into content because we know that audience is valuable. That's something we want to invest in, but we haven't figured out how to like
Dude, the
take money out the
value
other end of that equation.
right. It's like, guys, the gold mine's over there. You're digging. You're not even digging, dude. You're just on the surface playing around in the sand. So we got to start digging. That's what we're actively doing now. So it's like, I was telling, well, fucking, who am I talking to? But we were talking about
Right here, this guy.
right here. My bad. I'm talking to you. There's no fucking audience here. We were talking about, and I lost it. No,
Ooh.
how ideally we want to work on the business like before we're in it, so we're like handling sales calls, we're like, I don't know, talking to editors, matching them, like doing all the like nitty-gritty work. Finally we're starting to like work on it in a bit of a sense where Jack's handling like operations. We just send him a lead and it's like Jack will take care of it. Really nice feeling. Still not completely out of it, but more so getting on top of it. Same idea with content where it's like my goal is that we are not in it. Like right now, content does not get put out if we don't show up on camera or in the past, like write our own scripts. Still more or less that's the case. But like we're just starting to get out of the email where it's like beautifully written by Reese, who was a YouTuber that kind of we came across, and it's just like his skills in creating really funny like whatever 10-minute YouTube videos just translated beautifully over to the written email, kind of like our own. So that's like the first time we've gotten to work on the email versus in it. So now we can go back and be like, okay, we should have a banner at the top that says like Smart Nonsense, sponsored by Clipped, and then like a one-liner on what Clip does. If I can give you video editors for dirt cheap, and then boom, that'll start actually selling things. Boom, my
And
bad,
then
dude.
boom.
I think that's how business works, and then boom, and you make money. I think.
Shows you how we've been spinning in circles for 2 years, and then boom.
At least.
Um,
It's also funny. so, so part of our scramble, basically, we've been doing this thing 30 and 30, which is like in 30 days, we got to sell 30 editors,
30
like
new
butts and
customers in
seats.
30 days.
Yeah, ambitious, but definitely possible given our track record. But sort of my realization was like, hey, let's just look to what's worked in the past. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The times we've been most bountiful, there's been a harvest. That was when we were doing free clips for other celebrities, aka David Sachs and Naval. It's like, can we just go back to doing that? The problem is though, as you said, like we try and go back, and it's like fucking. It's kind of like the washed up dudes that try and come out of retirement, and it's like, dude, you retired 2 years ago. What are you doing here? So
Yeah,
we got
it's
to
just
kind of rebuild that track.
it's funny. So the reason we did that in the past is what we called it squatter marketing, right? It was basically, can we squat and just do somebody's content for free so that we can mooch off of their distribution, because we didn't have any. Now we have a lot. And so it's kind of funny to not use our distribution and go back to these guys and like try and tag.
Right.
Like I put out a David Sachs clip today. It didn't do Capuch.
Right.
He also
It's
didn't
like,
respond to my text. So it's like, it's
nor
just,
his
it's,
wife.
but that's not going to stop us, Pop. Relentless
No.
over here.
Well, that's what I was telling you. I'm like, you got to remember, dude, put yourself in our shoes. They didn't necessarily respond to the first one either when we did it years ago. We're starting from scratch. All right. We've burned everything to the ground. It's brutal, but you got to treat it like the Cobra, dude. The Cobra's there.
Jason responded to Jason Calacanis responded for the first video we ever did to them. I don't know what you want, but you're hired.
All right. Maybe
we did yesterday. We did the best edit. Go on well, you're not going to find it. Maybe we'll roll it here. The edit Ken did from our team. Best edit we've ever done for All In.
Dude.
Capuch.
Maybe they like the spinning Mr. Horse animations. No, it was really cool. Actually, what I liked was like seeing the before, like, okay, sorry, me cutting you off just fucked with my train of thought. Put you in a trance. I don't know what you're gonna say, but
but get it out. Hypnosis.
I don't know what those were, but it was kind of distracting. You were just like, wow, this is novel. I haven't seen that before ever. Probably because it's really bad and not Lindy, meaning like it's not going to stand the test of time. But now we're kind of creating like mini documentaries where it's like, I was telling you on the phone. It's like most clips are just the person talking on screen. I know, dude.
You're just talking to me.
Well, it's hard when we've already talked about this, so it's like it can't be for you. So I'm in a weird middle ground.
He's an actor.
But the point is, like, most clips are just person talking on screen with like a little bit of like random pictures and stuff as B-roll. But we're kind of taking this more Johnny Harris Vox approach, where it's like, I'm saying we, but really can't design this whole thing. But it's like Sachs talking, but then like an actual, like a documentary would cut to a clip about what he's talking about, but have that audio have like, so he's talking about the Ukraine war. It'd be like a journalist on the ground in the Ukraine, like giving some snippet, and then it cuts back to Sachs. And then like you have maybe nice like map animations or something like that, but it just looks super classy versus fucking like characters spinning all over the screen, just distracting you, which defeats the purpose. It's more like the message is center stage here with the mini documentary versus like the animations were center stage with our old content. So I'm actually more excited about it, but we'll see if other people are.
It's a shame.
I think we just gotta.
It got
keep
one like on Twitter, and that one like was you.
Yeah. Well,
so
I gotta.
Hey, your Twitter rips. Your Twitter audience. I don't know what you've been doing the last couple of years.
Well, you don't really post on Twitter. I feel like I post a lot more.
Yeah,
you kind of just lurk.
That's how you build an audience.
Oh, that's how you build.
I stopped posting, dude. I just posted though how much I love The Dentist. I was there. Yeah. I know some people get very. Do you get scared at the dentist?
Dude, that was triggering for me.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm gonna not respond to this.
You don't like the dentist?
I think you're like one of 1,000 people that I've ever heard say that. Like,
it's so relaxing. Feels
your
so
mouth's
nice.
Like you got a fist in your mouth for an hour. How is that relaxing?
This dentist, Dentology, like a direct-to-consumer dentist, they got TVs on the ceiling,
Wait,
so I'm just watching like House Hunters International.
what the fuck
Um,
is dental?
Dentology. It's
Crack
it's
your
the
back?
dentist. It's the dentist reimagined, dude. It's it's like, you know how there's this. I think I talked about this on the pod, but they don't go out anymore, so I don't get a
Oh,
feedback loop.
no.
Um, you know how our generation has had this like great stripping of services. I mean, it's the D2C movement. It's like everything's just like cut out all the crap in the middle and like just give people the service. Give them like a
Okay. Yeah.
Calendly to book it on. That's what dentology is. Dentology. You see how I
But wouldn't
did
I
the
just
accent in
have
the
my
middle there?
dentist? No, okay. Wouldn't I just like
Yeah,
call my
but
dentist and be like, I need an appointment, and then you have one? Where's the
do you
middleman
do
there?
that? How's that going for you?
Well, I don't. My healthcare, I don't think it covers
Oh.
dental, so I don't. I don't but I don't have a
No, it's
girlfriend I
oh,
can mooch off of.
huh. It's
Oh,
I just it's like a Calendly. You just book with a Calendly. They're really good about making you come every 6 months because that's what their incentive is to do. I don't know, like
dude,
my
you're
entire
making
life.
like this is exactly how dentists work. I don't. They're
My
not
entire
innovating
life,
on anything.
no, my entire life, I went to this really kind of old school dentist that had all these old tools. They weren't very good. And to make an appointment, they would send you a like postcard in the mail. And then you'd call, then you'd get on the phone with them, and you'd spend 15 minutes trying to find a time that you could connect. It's just like all this dumb friction.
Yeah,
So that's why I go to dentology.
I.
It's just down the block.
You just need something that adopts tech.
Oh, you know what? Dentology for you, they offer, like, if you don't have insurance, you can subscribe to
But
Dentology.
really,
$25 a month. You get your 2 yearly cleanings. It's like 300, what was that? $300?
yeah.
Nice. You get your 2 yearly cleanings and your x-rays, and you get like one emergency. So in like the D2C spirit, they like got rid of insurance even if you don't have it, and you can pay to
Mm.
be on their model. So why don't you could try that out, Mr. No Dental Insurance girlfriend.
Uh, yeah. Maybe I will. I like that. I'm also.
Dentology. Great,
I'm
great people there.
balancing. I listen to a lot of Taleb, and he's like, you should only really go to the hospital when you're dying. Like everything else, just fucking the human body's
Dude.
robust and resilient. It'll fucking kill it and then get better after. Technically, anti-fragile is the right word there.
Yeah, can the
Um,
human body apply fluoride to your teeth? I don't think so.
I don't know if you need it though.
Dude, we had a new, you probably don't, but we had a new, I don't know if it's an all-time high or an all-time low, but I woke up this morning to you and I share a lot of things back and forth, just a lot of memes, a lot of learnings, a lot of Twitter stuff. I woke up to a text from you that was a video screen recording going through about 15 Nassim Taleb tweets, going through them slowly so I could read them in your video screen recording, because I don't know why Taleb blocked me on Twitter. So when you send me a
I
DM,
know
I
why
can't read
he
them.
was sick of Mr. Horse, dude. You saw David Saxon's propaganda clips flying around.
I think I said
Uh,
one thing once, which was like Mr. Anti-Fragile like has to block people at the slightest whatever, because he was just going on like a blocking spree. I was basically saying, if you're so anti-fragile, why do you have to block everyone that like disagrees with you a little bit? Instant block.
You got the
It,
problem is you got like super negative downsides because there goes my love language, dude. Sending you a little Taleb. Because I ran out of Lindy Man to read at night because I've gone back
really,
like
it's
5 years.
over.
Yeah, I got to the origin, dude.
The
So
big
I'm like,
Lindy
okay,
bang.
I got to go to Taleb now. And so I started sending you like a half dozen last night. And then I realized in the morning, I'm like, dude, can't
It's
see
not going to
nothing.
work. It's not going to work. The screen recording was nice, but it's not going to work,
Dude,
because
yeah, the problem is you got to like click in to some of the tweets to get full context. So it ends up being like over a minute of you
plus you recording, plus like there were times where you just kind of went through slowly, or you went on to like the next thing, or you clicked in, and then I had to like scrub back and like hold it to like figure it's not gonna work. We're just gonna have to let that one go.
Fuck, dude.
Unfortunately,
That's the problem, though. I got no other friends. I tried
Send
to
them to
teach our
Steven.
friends. Oh yeah, I could be friends with
Dirtfin.
Steven, I guess. I send him.
Yeah.
Well, I send all the athletics ones to like Hunter and Zach. They're getting mad at me today because I keep shitting on running. Because, dude, I learned the marathon isn't even ancient. I'm like, what the fucking Fugazi is this?
The old story was like, basically they sent some messenger in ancient Greece or Rome to just run as far as he could, and he died after running 26.2 miles. So that became
That's not even true, dude.
I know. Well, apparently not. It's short.
He just ran like really far because he had to like bring news of some war, and he died. And then in like 1896 at the Olympics, they're like, "Hey, that was kind of cool how he did that. We should run far. How far?" And they're like, "Oh, let's do like 25 miles." And then like years later or something, the Queen of England, like she had a really nice stand like where she wanted to watch the race, but it was fucking like a little over a mile away. So like, hey, it's gonna be a little over a mile longer. It'll be 26.2 because the Queen's stand is over there. It's like, dude, fucking stupid ass made up shit. Like they only ran like 2 miles max, 2.5. So literally like 10% as long. I'm like, dude, that's a fucking sprint.
Hockey's kind of stupid and made up though. Like all these sports are.
No, yeah. My problem isn't like a hockey. I don't know how long people have been fucking skating, but it was like pretending to be this ancient thing when it's just marketing from like 1900. It's like, all right, dude, this is like 100 years old. Who are we pretending? Like, who even knows if like sprinting or running far distances
doesn't it cut even deeper than that? I think in the 60s or 70s there was another kind of marketing campaign, maybe around dieting or something, that like turned running into a fad. Like basically people didn't used to just like walk out of their house and go for a run. Like that jogging, like that's not something people did.
Yeah, I actually want to do a short. Oh, I want to do that because it really bugs me. Like Taleb talks a lot about barbells, where like you want to push your body to the extreme and then like bounce back. So you want like sprinting and then walking.
Taleb looks like a barbell. He just kind of looks like one. So,
oh, dude, I get some questions for you.
A kettlebell.
yeah, dude, really low center of gravity. I got some questions for you after because I've been reading a lot about.
We're doing Q&A.
Yeah, I want to make it interactive. The point is, jogging's just in this middle ground of like you have like constant, a little bit higher than average heart rate, which is like doesn't really help much.
Got to do HIIT, high intensity intervals. Like that is actually legit, barbell. It's like walk and then sprint your guts out.
It is, yeah. And you look at sprinters and they're fucking jacked, and it's like you want to look like that. So that's just my qualm, especially whenever I see people suffering. Because, dude, I played 2 hockey games last night. Most fun shit of my life. Like, I fucking fucking a lot of threads. I realized before I was like,
so
do
much.
I like skiing more or do I like hockey more? And fucking after the ski trip, I'm like, damn, hockey's good, dude.
Let's do, I think tomorrow, let's break down the ski trip because there's a lot of learnings there. We haven't gotten any goofy goo threads from you in a while, like your bike being stolen or.
No, I mean, goo's tomorrow if we're going for the ski trip. Well, I got indirect two options. One's not really. I don't know how exciting that is. Kind of more.
Yeah, give me your options.
Bullet point. One is a person I met at my hockey rink. It's fucking not even that cool, really. Number 2 is the interactive ancient Greek and Rome questions.
Did we not already cover ancient Greek and Rome?
We didn't even touch the surface of it, dude.
Give me the person you met at hockey.
Okay.
I like when you meet random people, like your friend Nasir.
Nasir and Kelly Wakasa and Ashley, your mom, whatever her last name is. Okay, so I had a hockey game a couple days ago. Every day, really, but went there and I got there a little bit I didn't even get there early. I got there late, but I realized the skate shop was still open, so I want to get my skate sharpened because it's been months. And I tear those puppies up really quick out there. So I'm going to get my skate sharpened, and there's like 2 people in line ahead of me. One I see is like my buddy from the team. So I go, I'm like, yo, dude, getting your skate sharpened? And like, as I'm doing it, the guy that's like right next to him kind of like goes like, he's going to like dap me up or something. Cause I don't know, he thought I was acknowledging him. And so like I went and hit my buddy, and then he kind of like the guy that, you know, like kind of like waving to a person, but they're not waving to you. He kind of felt awkward. So like started looking at his phone or something. I turn and look, and I don't know. This is like a very like person that maybe you have no idea. But did you ever watch $1 Million Listing?
Is that on like HGTV? Like those twin
Yeah,
brothers, Property Brothers? Was it one of them?
kind of like that. Maybe it's just like if you watched it, it's a big thing for you. If not, it isn't. But this one guy on the show, Steve Gold, that was him, dude. That
Dude,
was the guy
incredible.
that I just fist bumped in front of him.
Unbelievable sighting. $1 Million Listing right now.
I used to watch that show every week in high school. It was like,
Wow. You'd
It
like
was my
selling
shit.
Sunset then. Is this
no, I
Los
think I tried
Angeles or
that.
New York? It's got to be New York, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
New
Ryan
York.
Serhant was on there.
Yeah, it was like Serhant. What's the tall? I haven't watched it in like 10 years, but I don't know. It was really big.
This guy?
The guy in the middle. Yeah,
That little guy, little peanuts.
Frederick's on the left. That's his name.
Frederick.
Um,
Dude.
yeah.
Nice, dude. I'm
So,
happy
dude,
for you.
it was weird because I'm like, wow, that guy probably thought it was just another fan like coming up to like dap him up or something, and I just kind of like accidentally negged him.
Did you see him play?
Well, what happened was my buddy like got his skates and then left, and it was just me and Steve in line. And now I'm like, hey, you're the dude from the show, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm the dude from the show. I'm like, oh shit. Do I want to go into the whole conversation? Probably not. Is there anything good? No, basically it was just me talking hockey with him, which is cool. I didn't realize he really played, and then I remember on the show it had clips of him playing. He played for my like current team. He used to play for him. But point is, dude, now I got his phone number and I'm hitting him up to play hockey. So it's kind of cool.
He's
dude.
a friend maker. I went and saw a stand-up comic last night, a friend of my dad's who
Dude,
he
you're
absolutely murdered.
huge into this now.
It's crazy. This was not with Athena, but with my dad. And this is related, I swear. But he told this joke at the end. He was like, I want to fill you in on, well, 2 things, but I'm just going to give you one, which is his airplane trick. He said, when I go on an airplane, I do this trick where I make sure I board absolutely last on a full flight. Or sorry, you need to have a friend. You need to have an accomplice for this trick to work. So first, I make sure I board absolutely dead last, which you and I like to do. You go in, you just kind of shuffle around, tell them thanks for waiting, take your seat. And then 5 minutes later, you have your accomplice come down the aisle later than you. And the accomplice goes, when he gets to you, oh my gosh, dude, like, I loved you in season 4. Thanks for doing that. Keeps walking. And now he's like,
as you're in middle seat of basic economy.
Yeah, right. And then keeps walking and sits down. And now he's like, for the entire flight, everyone's trying to figure out who the heck you are and what they know you from. And the best part is when at the end of the flight, they think they figured it out. And he's like, I'm just some deadbeat stand-up comic that's not that famous. So, hey, dude, that's my active listening addition to your story.
I could probably do that for the American Pie guy, but I'm not. He's like 15 years older than me, so probably couldn't pull it off. But I do get that a lot.
Gardaloo!
Dude, I didn't know there was a bird in our podcast. A Gardaloo bird.
And on and on.
Nice.